Today, on the journey to the Baja 1000, we're going to talk about how I got this awesome truck. My name is Dave. I'm just your average engineer with not so average ambitions. I'm looking to fulfill one of my life goals, which is to build an amazing off-road race truck, take it 95 miles south to Ensenada, Mexico, and compete in the world's most prestigious off-road race. You're watching the journey to the Baja 1000. Welcome to this episode of the Journey to the Baja 1000. In the previous episode, we talked about building a budget race truck. Let's start breaking down what that means. Our budget for this build is $20,000, and I'm sure you can see the challenge considering that we are LS powered, a custom chassis, we got FK bearings throughout, King coilovers and bypass shocks with 4-inch bump stops on all 4 corners, 6-speed transmission mated to a 14-bolt axle. Obviously, the price can get up there pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the J10 first. Let's see how I purchased it and what I'm in it for right now, and we'll get an update on where we're at with the budget. I've known for a long time that I wanted to build a truck to race the Baja 1000, so I've always had my eyes out for just the right truck. I don't want to have the same kind of truck that everybody else has got, so I was looking for just the right thing, and I've always loved the look of the old Jeep trucks. So we happened to be on a family vacation, and I saw this one on the side of the road with a for sale sign. I couldn't pass it up. Talked to the guy, I was able to negotiate it down to $2,500, and the truck was mine. When we finally got the truck to my house, it wasn't running. And we needed to get it driving to get it into my garage because there are some hills we had to get it over, and pushing it would be a bad option. We started with the basics, fuel and spark, and with just a gas can and a little bit of rubber hose, we were able to get the thing running. And actually, once it started, it ran pretty good. Once we got the J10 into my garage, all I really wanted from it was the body. So we started taking it apart bolt by bolt, and the body looked fantastic. There was a little bit of surface rust here and there. The majority of the rust was in the floor pans, but I'm cutting that out anyway. I had no intention on using the rolling chassis from this J10, and that's too bad because it was in fantastic shape. The frame had zero damage. It was just a little bit greasy. The engine was an AMC 360, mated to a Turbo 400, mated to a Quadra-Track transfer case, Dana 44s in the front and back, gas tank worked, the radiator worked, everything was great. Some really cool guy picked it up from Facebook Marketplace for $1,000. Here's the bed sides. You can see I cut the bed completely apart, so the whole center part's missing, just the side panels, which I'll use, and then the front fenders. Here we are on the budget. We bought it for $2,500. I sold $1,000 of parts off it. Right now, we're at $1,500 on the build. Well, here's a first sneak peek of what the J10 is going to look like. Right now, we have some of our body panels on as we're dimensioning some of the suspension and the chassis, but you get a good idea of just how cool this truck is going to look once it's at ride height with its racing tires on. In the next episode, we're talking all about the 2010 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. I'm going to let you know how I got it, how much I paid for it, and where it fits in the budget. I really think you're going to be impressed by all the parts we're using at an amazing price. Well, it should be no mystery by now that I love tools, and I love talking about tools. In a new segment called Tool Tips, we're going to talk about tools that I have that I wish somebody had told me about years ago. Say, for example, a 3D printer. How do you get a 3D printer? How much do they cost? What do I need to do to make them work? I'm going to answer all those questions on the first episode of Tool Tips. Well, we finally have the new plasma CNC table in the shop. Expect to see some great video of the assembly and the first cuts. You're really going to be blown away by some of the parts we're already producing from this machine. Well, that's the end of episode 2. Thanks so much for joining us. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. See you in the next episode. Take care of yourself.